good morning, good morning. Welcome, replay viewers. Thank you for joining the broadcast this morning. Be sure to invite your followers, share out on Twitter, and tap for hearts as you're watching the broadcast this morning. Good morning, my diva. Good morning. Victory for you today. Pastor Wanda, welcome to the broadcast this morning. Great to see you guys. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Great to see you here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Great to see you. Welcome. Hey, Nancy. Welcome. Fumiko. Great to see you this morning. Good morning, you guys. Come on in. Come on in. Tap for hearts as you're joining the broadcast this morning. Thank you very much. Good morning. You guys doing well? Is it cold in your neck of the woods? Because it is really cold here. It's like 16 degrees, I think. Good morning, Far Fan. Welcome to the broadcast. Good morning, you guys. Come on into the room. It's a Freedom Friday here on the Morning Divorce Devotion. Hello, hello. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm doing good. I had my coffee this morning. You're waiting? Oh, good, good, good. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment. Good morning, you guys. You ready for the weekend? Hey, Hiker64, thank you for joining. No kisses. Hey, Jail Chef 1970, welcome to the broadcast. Listen, you guys, if you're new to the broadcast, be sure to type a 1 in the chat box and let me know where you're joining the broadcast from. What city, what state, what country. Hello, welcome. Great to have you here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for inviting your followers, Nancy. I truly appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll give a few more seconds and then I'll start us up on Facebook Live and we will get on with today's message this morning. Thank you, my diva, for inviting your followers. I appreciate that. Welcome, you guys. Thank you. So listen, we're not doing a Dare Divorcee letter this morning. I have a different message that I wanted to put out since it's the end of the year, and we're talking about crossing the finish line. Crossing the finish line. And we will resume our Dear Divorcee letter next Friday. And by the way, with that, remember, if you have questions, if you have a scenario that you're dealing with, or maybe you dealt with in the past. Hey, Olivia, welcome this morning. And you have a question about it, and maybe you don't want to ask on live stream, send that question or that situation to me, Dear Divorcee Letter at gmail.com. Dear Divorcee Letter at gmail.com. Let me see if I can type that in. Hey, Taboo 6673, thank you for being here this morning. You guys give me just a second. Let's see if we can do this. 1 second. There we go. Bear with me, you guys. Thank you for keeping the hearts going. I appreciate that. 1 second. A little slow. And I don't have my glasses on. There you go, right? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Olivia. I need you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, welcome. Oh, you are so welcome, Taboo. If you have a first name, I think, or unless you want me to address you that way. Hey, Horace. Hey, Pie Tree, Big C21. Welcome, you guys, this morning. It's a Freedom Friday here on this morning's Divorce Devotion. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling with today's topic. Slicky Woo, welcome. Interesting handle. Thank you for being here, you guys, and thank you for the heart love. Let me go ahead and fire us up on Facebook Live. We had to delete the music because they don't rock like that over there. Good morning. Great to see you. Great to see you. Hope that you guys are ready for the weekend and a way to ring in the new year. Good morning over Facebook Live. Again, good morning, you guys. Welcome to this morning's Divorce Devotion. Hey, Favor Abraham. Welcome to the broadcast this morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrea Stuckey, and I am the founder of Live Life Loved Coaching and Divorcee Liberation, which is an online resource and community for women who desire to rebuild, redefine, and liberate their lives following separation and divorce. I'm your divorce liberator. I'm a transformational life coach. I'm also a speaker, and I'm also the author of the book, Suddenly Single, A Woman's Spiritual and Practical Guide to the First 5 Years Following Separation and Divorce. Thank you so much for being here this morning, this Freedom Friday, the last Friday of 2017. Good morning, Brooklyn Granny. Good day to you. I thought I saw you. Thank you for sharing on Twitter. I appreciate that. Hey, Kaylee, welcome to the broadcast this morning. I hope that you guys are well as you're rounding up this week, as you're rounding up this last Friday of the year. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? So I want to talk to you this morning about crossing the finish line. Crossing the finish line. I feel like you guys are low or high here. 1 second. Crossing the finish line. Many of you have fought along your journey this year. Many of you have, gone through a divorce. Many of you have started the road to divorce. Many of you are, maybe this was your first year as a single, second year as a single, and you're still navigating this divorce space, right? We're winding up. And I'm going to give you some nuggets today on how to end this year and cross the finish line, putting those things behind you. But I have some tips, some very different focuses I want to share with you on today. And so you guys know I always start with a quote or scripture. My demon says, run, a quote or scripture. And so I have a scripture for you this morning. By the way, again, if you're new, be sure to let me know that you're new, type of 1 in the chat box or over here in the comments on Facebook Live. Be sure to continue the hearts. My wife left me a few months ago, single father over here. Okay, Aquarius, let's talk for a second, because that's very, very important. How are you managing? Oh, well, welcome. Okay. Where are you from? I'm glad that you joined the broadcast this morning. All God's work. Thank you for being here. Over here on Facebook Live, be sure to thumbs up and tap for hearts as well as you're watching the broadcast. Coxie 2600, welcome to the broadcast. So, Aquarius, where are you? How are you feeling? In DC. Okay, so you're in the DMV. I'm in the Virginia area. So listen, tough time for you. You're in the beginning stages. Few months out. Been there. So if you're new to the broadcast, those of you watching on Facebook Live, I've been divorced twice. So not only am I a life coach, I've been on this journey twice, in my mid-20s and in my early 40s. And so quickly, for those who are new, I want you to know that I have been abandoned, rejected. I've gone through infidelity. I've gone through emotional, physical, and verbal abuse in some way, shape, or form between those two relationships. It's all right, just hard to manage my son and yourself. Yes, how old is your son, if I may ask? Welcome, Gustava. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for keep pumping those hearts out. We're just welcoming Aquarius to the to our broadcast and to our family over here. So we are welcoming him, and be sure, Aquarius, if I'm saying that right, that you hit those little 3 dots on the right side of the screen so that you can get all my notifications. Okay, he's 8 years old, so school age. I'm going to give you 3 really, really quick tips, okay? And this is not about what we're talking about today, but I just want to share that with you. First of all, I want to say, make sure you check my replays. First of all, I want to say, make sure you're following. Secondly, check the replays. Lots and lots of topics that we talk about over here all the time, right? So when you do that. Okay, so here's your nuggets really quickly. Number 1, take good care of yourself. Give yourself the space and grace that you need as a new divorcee, new separated person. A lot of emotional ups and downs. Give yourself space, give you the rest, and make sure you're around people who love and support you. Number 1. Number 2, don't make too many changes at once. You have an 8-year-old. Keep as many things the same as you can, for as long as you can. That helps him get stability. And then finally, number 3, I always recommend anyone with children that you have them evaluated, that you take them to a therapist just to make sure that they're managing that transition fine. I did that with both of my girls. They were 16 and 6 at the time, and it helped them tremendously. I'm not a counselor, I'm a coach. But I recommend that all children undergoing divorce, because they, in the therapy world, they consider that trauma. okay, quote unquote trauma. And so they should be evaluated just to make sure that they're navigating the space okay. And there are normal things, but just make sure that they're okay. So I hope those 3 tips help you. There's a lot more. It's not an easy journey, but please stay connected. It is very hard, Socksman says divorce is so hard. It is. And I know where you guys are. Great advice. I will follow them. Thank you very much. You're so welcome. Mwah! Thank you, Horace Davis, for that super heart. I appreciate that. So we're going to jump on, is divorce more prevalent in a certain race? Not to my knowledge, Socksman. I don't have any statistics on that. I honestly don't, but you know what? I will check. 1 second. I will check that for you. I have been single for 7.5 years. 7.5 years I've been single. Separated. That's single because our marriage, the divorce took 2.5 years before the divorce decree was signed. Right. But all total, once I left my second husband, it's been 7.5 years. So I've been single 7.5 years, and I've been co-parenting. Now I've been dating, and I've had a few, relationships, kind of minor things like that. But I am single. And I've been co-parenting, and I can speak to the co-parenting thing a lot, which I do. And I still co-parenting. I've been doing that for 7.5 years. Yeah, 7, and that's my number. Do you feel you are through the pain? Oh, absolutely. I couldn't be on this platform if I was not. Will you ever marry again? 3rd year's a charm here. I'm open. I am really open for whatever God has for me. I'm very happy single, right? I'm very happy in my space as who I am at this current moment in life, but I'm open for what God has for me. I'm not against remarrying again. I don't have a wall up against remarrying, but if that man finds me, then I am open for that. Hey, Boss Rick, thank you for joining. Any other quick questions before we get on to crossing the finish line? No? Okay, great. So listen, crossing the finish line. Okay, I lost my thought. Let me get a sip of coffee and we'll keep on rolling. I always start with a quote or scripture. And so the scripture that I have for you today says this: keep pumping those hearts out. I only see blue. Keep thumbsing up and tap it over here on Facebook Live as well. The scripture I have for you today comes from the book of Timothy, 2 Timothy 4 verse 7. And it says this: I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Let me say it again. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. And as I said earlier, many of you have been running a race this year. Maybe in your careers, maybe in your relationships, right? As you're navigating this divorce, separation space. You've been fighting. You've been running a race. But you can finish well and you can finish strong. Not meaning that the situation is over, right? Because many of you are still in a transition. But you can finish this year strong as the best individual that you can be. And I have 4 nuggets that I want you to think on this weekend before you ring in the new year on Sunday night. I really, really want you to think, and I want you to focus, because listen, your life, as I always say, and I'm going to tell you every single time I get on this platform, your life is not over. Now, it may feel like it, especially those of you who are newly separated and your emotions are all over the place. But your life is not over. And you're not disqualified from anything that this life has to offer. You will live again. You will love again. And you will prosper if you desire and if you do the work. Let me say that again. If you do the work. Yes, it's just the beginning. Because it takes work. Change takes work. And if you think you're going to have a different type of life, if you think you're going to have a different type of relationship, if you choose a relationship in the future, without doing any change or any work, it's not going to happen. And if you look back across your life, no matter where you are, yes, it is so, Olivia, right? Anything that you received, you had to work for. You had to change for. A new job, you had to shift and change. A new career, you had to shift and change. When you became a parent, you had to shift and change. When you got married or divorced, you had to shift and change. And it's no different as you move into the next space and into the next year of your life. And let me tell you this. Everyone gets really, really excited at the end of the year. I do. It's my birthday month. I love challenges. I'm super excited because I like setting goals. I like checking off boxes. I like work. That's me. That's my personality. Right? But I also know that I don't change magically in one day. We don't change automatically on the first day of the year. It are the habits and things that we put in place in our lives that foster continuous growth and continuous change, right? And when we're growing and changing, we see results. So the same is for you in your emotional space. As you're going through a divorce, as you're transitioning as a single, right? As you're filling out documents and meeting with attorneys and making co-parenting plans, right? And filing for child support or paying child support. It is no different. It is no different. And so let me leave these 4 nuggets that I have for you today. Keys to crossing the finishing line of 2017. You might want to get a pen, or you can check the replay and write these things down. Number 1, cross the finish line with love. Love. You guys, love wins every single time. So instead of choosing anger, choose love. Instead of choosing hate, choose love. Instead of choosing unforgiveness, choose love. It wins every single time. And love is reciprocal. If you want to get love, you've got to give love. We talk about here, relationships are reciprocal. Right? And when we talk about love, you can love a person that you don't agree with. You can love a person that you have different values with. You can love the person, which is agape love, for the person that you're no longer in a relationship with. Right? Not accepting any bad behaviors, but you can love them from afar. And I'm telling you, when you walk in the spirit of love, it always wins. It always wins. Give love. Put that at the forefront of your mind as you're ending and crossing the finish line of 2017. Number 2, you're going to cross the finish line with intention. My diva says it's going to take a while for that one. Let me back up. You're talking about love. I know where you're going with this. And we need to talk too. But I'm telling you what I know. Hear me out. We all have a choice. We don't have to love. We don't have to forgive. We can carry it like a little baby. Because what happens is it makes us think that we have a level of control over the other person. This is real talk. Right? So if I continuously say to you, you've hurt me, you've harmed me, you've wronged me, you see, then I feel like I have hold or some type of control over you to make you feel bad. But here's the deal. It doesn't work. The people that have hurt you, most of the time, have gone on with their lives. In one way, shape, or form. They've gone on with their lives. And so when I carry the anger, when I carry that little nugget that I want to keep bringing up to them and that kind of thing, I'm only hurting me. I'm stirring up that negative energy every single time I talk about it. I'm stirring up the tension in my body every single time I talk about it. I'm releasing the stress hormone, cortisol, in my body Every single time I get worked up about it, who is that hurting? Is it hurting the other person who's offended me, or is it hurting me? It's hurting me. It's hurting you. Not only here, but in the core of your being, because stress, anger has physical effects, and we've talked about that here before. And so if you want to preserve your life, preserve your sanity, and you really want to move forward, love is the answer. And it's not a ticket. I'm not saying that love means what they did is okay. It's not an okay checkbox. It just means that you know that you can move on. You let God handle that. We talked about that yesterday. Right? And it doesn't happen overnight. I'm not going to say it happens overnight. I've been here, been there, done that. It does not. But it comes to my second point. Intent. Cross the finish line with intent. Meaning you must be intentional about what you desire to do in your life. Every single part of your life. So let's backtrack for a minute. Keep those hearts flowing, you guys. We just talked about love. Maybe negative feelings. Right? If your desire and your intent is to release, if your desire and intent is to forgive, then that is what will follow you. It may not happen today, but you're intentional about creating an environment to help you achieve that, whatever that may be. Hey, Smiles and Giggles, welcome. George Bronze, welcome to the broadcast. Be intentional about your year, your upcoming year. Where do you want to be this time next year? Want to go into the new year with a pure heart and mind? Absolutely. Release. Be intentional. Think of one major focus for your new year. May God bless you and keep you safe, not only today, but through your year. If you're from Brazil, thank you so much, Jorge. I appreciate that. Thank you. Go in 2018 with intent. You must be intentional. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can start off with a major intent, right? Everyone has to assess their own life. Right? So for some of you, it may be emotional. You want to really get your emotions in check. Maybe you need some help and support with that. Right? If you need that, my calendar will be open in the next couple of days, bit.ly/coach with Andrea. bit.ly/coach with Andrea. And if not me, with someone else, get a therapist, get a counselor, get some support. If you need that. Right? If your intent is to change and be in a better emotional space next year. Right? Maybe for some of you, it's physical. Your physical journey. Maybe you have some ailments. Maybe you want to just be healthier. Right? And healthiness does not always mean going to the gym, getting buff and that type of thing. A lot of things goes on the inside and how we care for ourselves as well. But be intentional about your 2018. Thank you so much, Olivia. That's perfect. And then on a daily basis, have one intent on what you need to do each and every day. At least one thing. And again, it's different for everyone. And so some of you may be, you may already do this. But if you're new, when I work with my clients, is we start small to gain small wins, to build confidence. So if you're not accustomed to setting goals, if you're not accustomed to setting intent, then sometimes we set ourselves up for failure. Good morning, Alex. Right? Because we have all of this overwhelm, saying we want to do all these different things, and we don't really know how to achieve them. And so that's what I do as a life coach. I help break these things down into incremental steps and strategies to achieve it, whatever it is, whether it's physical, whether it's relational, whatever that may be. And sometimes what we have to understand is that when we're involved for ourselves and we have emotional situations going on, it clouds our judgment. And so sometimes you just need someone else to look at a situation objectively right? And recognize some areas that may need to be changed and help you strategize that, right? So point number 4, nourish yourself. As you're crossing the finish line of 2017, nourish yourself. You, ma'am, you, sir, take care of this right here, because you're the only person that you have. And oftentimes, we are forever putting ourselves on the back burner. And I can be guilty of this at this time too, because I'm a workaholic, sort of. Right? You got to nourish yourself. Nourish your mind, your body, and your spirit. Take time to get still, to get clear, to really think about what you want next year. Hey, victory for you today. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm on number 3. Number 3 is nourish yourself. So number 1, quick recap. Crossing the finish line. Number 1, with love. Number 2, with intent. And number 3, nourishing yourself. How will you do that in 2018 on a consistent basis? Take care of your mind. What are you putting into it? Take care of your body. What are you putting into it? And take care of your spirit. Again, what are you putting into it? What are you surrounding yourself with? Because your environment plays a major role in your thought, right? Your thoughts produce your words, which produce your actions. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Nourish yourself. Nourish your mind, body, and spirit. And finally, point number 4 is have high expectations. Hey, D223, welcome. This is not new, you guys. But if you expect negative, you're going to get negative. If you're going through, those of you who are in a separation state and you're going through divorce and you are speaking negatively about your situation or your outcome, then that is exactly what you're going to speak into your life. Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much. You have to have high expectations for yourself and for your life and your situation. When you expect great, then the environment, the energy that you're around has to line up, period. It's the same thing as we talk about speaking life. Right, so let me give you an example. I used this a couple times before, and I will say this. I homeschooled my oldest daughter for 10 years. She's now 23. This is many years ago. But when I was homeschooling her, I would do little experiments because she didn't know what she's supposed to do in 3rd or 4th or 5th grade. I was the teacher, right? So what I would do is I would present information to her on a higher level, expecting her to grasp it. Well, because she didn't know she wasn't supposed to be doing this at that grade, guess what? She rose to the expectation. It's the same in life. If you expect your friendships to be negative, they're going to be negative. If you expect your children to behave poorly, then that's what they will do. So you have to set your expectations for your life high. So in 2018, what do you want as a divorcee? Where do you want to be this time next year? Emotionally, physically, socially, right? Many of you who've been following me for quite some time, those, especially in my Facebook community, have been following me for over a year. Some of you almost 2 years. Are you out there dating yet? Are you socializing? Have you created new circles? Hey, Solitaire, welcome. Right? Think about that as you're moving into the new year. And set your expectations high for yourself. You deserve it. You're valuable. And you got to know that. You're worth the best. You're worth the best. And when you treat and have high expectations for yourself, other people will line up and treat you the same way. But if you don't treat yourself well, if you don't nourish your spirit, if you don't have intentions, then people who come into your life will sense that. And they will treat you accordingly. You attract what you are. And so over these next several days, get quiet if you haven't already. And really think about where you want to be next year. On whatever level. Physical, financial, social, did I say financial? Emotional, right? Even from a career perspective. Job, career, business. What is that thing that you'd like to be doing by this time next year? If you need help navigating that space, bit.ly/coach with Andre. That schedule will open up probably this afternoon. Hey, Angela from Oklahoma. Welcome to the broadcast. You guys have any questions, comments, or concerns for me on today? I do want to remind you that if you have not registered for the Divorce to Destiny 6-week masterclass, there's a link here in my bio on Periscope. That registration is still open. The class will start January 4th. That's a Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm doing well, Angela. Thank you. Thank you. You don't want to miss it. I recommend this class. It is for women only, number one. Number two, I recommend this class if you're 6 months separated or greater. 6 months or greater, so somewhere around 6 months to a year or longer that you've been separated or divorced. You don't have to necessarily be divorced, because sometimes those divorces take years for the legal battle, right? Custody battles and things like that. But that's my recommendation. You don't want to miss this. This class is phenomenal. It is intense. You have to do some work, but the rewards will be very beneficial to your life as you step into 2018. So I'm super excited about re-offering this class. Again, we've had it before, and the women who've been in it had great results. And I see them moving along their journey, and I want the same for you. You can go directly to that link, bit.ly/divorce to destiny. If somebody could type that in the chat, I'd appreciate it. Same thing over here on Facebook Live. bit.ly/divorce to destiny will take you directly to sign up for the class. So I look forward to seeing you there. Nugget number 2, if you are not a part of my Facebook community, any of you women out there, and this is for women only as well, you're separated or divorced, join the community. Be around other women to love, support, and encourage you. And I've got 3 new, things, for lack of a better word, that I'm introducing to my community this year, 2018. So you don't want to miss it. Come join and be a part of that community. Have a safe space of love and support and encouragement as you navigate that space with others who have either gone through what you're going through or are going through the very same thing that you're going through right now. You can get that link. That link is bit.ly/divorcee liberation. bit.ly/divorcee liberation. With that being said, over here on Periscope, there's 2 links in my bio. One link will take you directly to the masterclass. The other link will give you a drop down to all of my ebooks, courses, my website, all of that. So that's how you can stay connected with me. Hey, Crazy Boy 1952, welcome to the broadcast this morning. Again, it's a Freedom Friday here, the last Friday of 2017. We've been talking about crossing the finish line. Crossing the finish line. Many of you. Hey, good morning, Marty. Welcome to the broadcast. Many of you have had some rocky roads this year, right? Such is the journey of life anyway. You have highs and you have lows, right? You have good days and you have challenging days. I don't believe any days are bad days, but you may have some challenging days, right? But you want to finish well and you want to finish strong. In love, with intent, nourishing yourself, and with high expectations. Good morning, Marty. Great to see you. I need to connect with you too, by the way. I'm going to send you a message in Messenger, so look for that today. Right? Hey, favorite Abraham, welcome. Any other questions, comment, or concerns for me, you guys? Are you excited about the new year? Are you sad about the new year? It's gone really quickly to me. It seems like it just zipped by. And so I'm excited. I love new beginnings. Favorite Abraham says, I am. Yes, love new beginnings. Fumiko says she's excited. Yes, Fumiko, get excited. Absolutely, absolutely. So listen, you guys know You can stay connected with me. I'm on all platforms of social media. Please, if you're not following me on other platforms, you're missing out. You're missing out. Join the community. Follow me on Instagram, Live Life Loved. And the loved is spelled non-traditionally, L-U-V-D. Yes, I am. I would have to make some changes. Yes, you're excited. Yes, Eddie. Happy New Year, everyone. Same to you, Brooklyn Granny. Same to you. So yes, follow me on Instagram, Snapchat. I snap a little. I have a YouTube channel, you guys, Live Life Loved. Go over there and subscribe to that channel. That's going to grow in 2018. How do you deal with children when they were raised in the church, but she moved a man in and they are not married? How do you deal with children? So are you saying adult children, Alex? I want to make sure I understand your question. Okay, so you're saying, let me make sure. So are you saying, okay, so you're saying if you were raised in the church and you move someone in, so are you talking about adults? Are you talking about your ex? So I'm a little, I see you guys saying co-parent, but we are divorced and they only know of married living together. Okay, so your children, you're talking about, okay, so this is what it sounds like you're saying. So tell me this. So are you saying that your children understand about being married, living together when they're married, but perhaps your ex is living with someone and not married? And how do you explain that? Okay, she moved her boyfriend in and they are not married. So this is the thing. Tell me the ages of your children again, Alex. I forgot. Hey, Shupaloopa. Because age matters. Age-appropriate conversations matter. 15, 11, and 9. So, okay. So here's the thing. Truth trumps all. But all details are not necessary. And really, at the end of the day, children also have to understand that as adults, people make decisions. So this is what we believe. This is what I believe. Right? Meaning you. Right? This is what I believe. And this is, what I teach you. However, what other people do, we have no control over that. We really don't. And that may be a question. If they want to ask their mom and she give an explanation, that's fine. But however, we cannot control other people's behaviors. And quite honestly, I wouldn't make a huge deal out of it. I would wait for them to ask me questions. At 15, 11, and 9, I would wait for them to ask me questions. And then I would speak the truth, not the details. They don't need details, if you get my drift. And sometimes children may not even know that that person lives there. So we have to be very careful not to create unnecessary situations. I'm not saying that's with you because I don't know your situation. I don't know what they know. But I thought I'd throw that out there because oftentimes as adults, we're frustrated with something and the kids have no idea what's going on. And they don't need to know. And it doesn't benefit them to know. Okay? So here's real talk. What you have to remember too is that at some point you may be back on the dating scene. I'm not saying that you're going to necessarily live together, but I'm saying you may be on the dating scene at some point. Mine, no, they knew we both were saved and we raised them. You don't check. Correct. Okay? So now they have to formulate opinions. You don't make excuses. Right? And let me tell you something. Let's just have some real talk. Okay? The same, none of us are perfect. And I'm not talking about your ex-wife. I'm not saying that. I want to make a point here. For example, maybe this will make sense. When I got married, right? Christian marriages, so I think, Alex, we're on the same level here. You had no idea that you'd be getting a divorce. If somebody told me 20 years ago that I would be divorcing my second husband, I would say, you're crazy. We met in church. We this, we that, we that. We never know how we're going to handle a situation with the cards that we're dealt with. We pray, right? We try to have some foundation, but we don't know. Right? Exactly, my diva. So we find ourselves in this space. So I don't know your ex-wife. I don't know what she's going through. I don't know what she's looking for. But as I said in number 1, love always wins. Pray for her. Number 1. We both are preachers, so it's just confusing to them to see this. But at 11 and 15, the truth is not confusing. The truth is people make choices. Because believe it or not, I don't want to bust bubbles. You can raise your children in a saved house. How many of you even went to church as a child? Now, I went to church, but I didn't grow up in a Christian family. We weren't saved. But that doesn't mean you're not going to make poor choices. That doesn't mean you're not going to make wrong decisions. Right? And I'm not advocating what your ex-wife is doing. I'm not saying that. But I'm trying to give you a different shift of perspective. And also a shift in perspective for your children as they begin to grow. What you don't want to do is make their mom seem like an evil woman, so to speak, because that is their mother. Children need both parents. And I've been on this platform and I've even said for non-custodial parents, they may not be perfect. They may not have a job. They may be searching, but they love their children. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So let's not get, and not necessarily you, Alex, I'm just saying in general, I think it's a good topic to talk about. Let's not get a little higher up than we think. These kids need both parents. And let's not start planting negative seeds about the other parent into the children because we don't agree with something. Am I making sense to anybody? Because they're growing. We can agree to disagree, but I believe right is right. I'm not saying what she's doing is right. I think you're missing my point. I'm not saying thank you, Marty. I'm not saying what she's doing is right. But what I'm saying is be careful in the seeds that you're imparting into your children about their mother. That's what I'm saying. I see it all the time because see, what you don't understand is that children, not saying you don't understand, but children need both parents. And just because the other parent isn't perfect, we're not perfect. We're not perfect. My daughter needs me as much as she needs her dad. And regardless of the spouse or ex-spouse to ex-spouse relationship, it's not the same. I will use the word as my guideline. Yes, but this is what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, Alex. What you're saying is fact, right? According to the Bible. But what you're also, but you're going through a divorce yourself. That's not biblical. I went through a divorce myself twice. That's not biblical. Bringing the kids in the center of adult battle is wrong for the kids. Bringing the kids at the center of an adult battle. I missed that. I understand that you have to move on with that. That's a decision that she made. That's something we can't control. But we want to control, and that's our emotions talking. That's our hurt talking. And one day in the future, you may meet someone that you want to spend some time with. You know, I don't recommend that. You can do whatever you want. But let me tell you something. And Famiko, I think you're kind of new to the broadcast, but this is the deal. Of course, as adults, we can do whatever we want. We can say whatever we want. We can navigate whatever we want. But will it be beneficial to our future and be beneficial to our emotional stage is what we want to ask. And our future relationships. So oftentimes what happens is we jump into other relationships because it feels good. No, but you were saying that my divorce wasn't biblical. I'm just saying I fought for the marriage. No, what I mean is, maybe I should be a little more clear. You know, I come on here and I talk about God doesn't advocate divorce. Okay, I understand that. Okay. No worries. Okay. I stand to be corrected. The main point that I want to share, and I hope that you're grasping this, Alex, is the relationship piece. I understand that you're not happy. I understand your concern for your kids, right? Because she has moved on. Emotionally, as adults, it's a hard pill to swallow, even when there's not kids in the picture. Let's just have real talk. Okay? Let's just have real talk. But the day may come, too, that you decide to date. Maybe not move somebody in, but you decide to date. And sometimes it's very hard in the beginning to see you ever being in that space. But what I'm saying to you is you don't want to damage the relationship with your children and their mother, regardless of what she's doing. If she's not physically harming them to where the courts are saying, you know, that she's dangerous, then I don't believe in planting unnecessary negative seeds into children. That's my opinion and some experience that I've had on this journey, and in seeing it in others' lives, having clients and having coached clients in these situations. You have to begin with the end in mind. Because oftentimes what happens, and I got to wrap up, oftentimes what happens is we get so caught up with the now, right? So here's the deal. I'll give a quick example, and then I got to run. So for those of you, let's say somebody has small sons, right? I'll use this totally fictitious example. Single mom has 2 sons, got a divorce, can't stand the dad, won't allow the children to see their father, or, is always putting their father down and those type of things. And so the relationship between the 2 sons and their father is strained. Okay. So years go by. Now you have young men, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I blocked you. 15, 16, 17. And now these are young men that mom wishes that they had some sort of relationship with their dad. Because as a mother, I don't have sons, but as a mother, I'm limited. I'm not a man. We do great jobs as women as a whole. I'm just saying. Okay, suppose the lady I meet my wife at. Can you repeat that? I missed that. I'm very sorry. Yes, I am a life coach. You need me. Okay. I do consultations only with gentlemen. Okay, here's the deal. If you really need a consultation, bit.ly/coach with Andrea. You can get on my schedule. I think someone typed it in earlier. You can check the replay. And I will chat with you then, and we will see if I can help you. I only take men on a case-by-case basis. I primarily coach women. You have to wait till the consultation for that. Depends on what your need is and how I can help you, if I can help you. So let's back to Alex really quickly. Alex, really quickly. Thank you so much, Marty. I appreciate that. If you need me, just call me Zaddy. You can type that. And we're going to move. All right. Y'all, I ain't got time. Okay. I don't have time today. Alex, come back. Those are my thoughts. I think it's very important that we think about down the road is what I'm saying when we're dealing with children and co-parenting. And it's very, very difficult. I got it. I just wanted to throw it out to get your point on it. But I will use the word. Yes. And here's the thing. Wait a minute. Blocked again, right? Wife says to get out of the house and need divorce. And if even I don't need it, what to be the solution? I need a little clarity on that. I'm not, can you type that in a different way? I'm not sure about the wife having to go. Let me see what time it is, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna have to run. So I hope that's helpful. We kind of got off balance here, but I think that's very, very important to remember, you guys, that especially when you have children. See, we're very emotional. I do, and I cast them out too. No fear, Sasha. So you can stay around, you can get blocked, or you can cast out, one or the other. Y'all tested me today, but here's the real deal, you guys. You know, when we have our children, oh, thank you so much. We have children, sometimes we get so emotionally caught up in the now. You know, in our adult relationship. Right? Adult to adult relationship. Right? And we don't think about the emotional aspects of the children. And that's why I always say that it's very important to have the children evaluated. We can divorce and move out, but the children only get one of each parent. Exactly, Marty. That's right. But women don't understand the seriousness if life seems quite stubborn. Why? I think that's a generality. Just like all men are not created equal. I mean, we have some general things that we kind of do, but all men and women are not created equal. Right? And you'll be surprised on the myths of divorce. Right? There are many single dads out here taking care of their children and doing a daggone good job at it. Many. And sometimes people don't recognize that. Right? People don't recognize that. So again, just remember when it comes to, I didn't grow up with my first cousin because of divorce. Right? Families are broken up. That happens. And unfortunately, you know, to say that going through a divorce and everything's going to be the same, it's not. But we create new normalcy in our lives, and we adjust, and we set new traditions, for example. Is that divorce good, madam? So let's wrap up, you guys. It's a Freedom Friday here on the Divorce Devotion. I hope that something that I have said or shared with you on today have been of encouragement. That is my goal. That is my desire for you. As you're wrapping up this year on a serious note, God has so much more for you. God has so much more in store for you. And your life is not over. I enjoy you, but you care off a little judgment when you threw up about me being divorced. And that just, I apologize, but I was trying to make a point. And my point was just that, you know, you're talking about judgment, but I think that you're judging as well. And so not what God wants. I fought for my marriage. I'm not denying that you didn't fight for your marriage. And I'm not denying biblical principle. I'm very aware of biblical principle. But I think that oftentimes we can, because we're emotional, it's very easy for us to be very judgmental. The holidays are difficult, Samantha. My prayers and blessings to you. And I know this because I was that person. I was very judgmental. If you guys want to have real talk, I was very judgmental. No. You didn't judge by asking a question, but the judgment of your wife and what she's doing. That's judgment. Now, I'm not saying that what she's doing is correct or right or wrong. Different strokes for different folks. What do we say here in this space? No judgment zone, right? As a whole. So my point is for people who may be living with someone, if that's what they want to do, that's their choice, right? I totally understand what you're saying and your concern for your children. But I think that oftentimes we're looking at it from an adult perspective. Big C, I'm not the same that I was 20 years ago. According to the word, the Bible says you know them by their fruit. I wasn't judging. Okay, how to switch to being judgmental. I was just using the word. I totally understand. I am talking about your children and the seeds and the relationship of your children with their mother. So if do we use the word to condemn people? Or do we use the word to bless people? Right? So do I want to, I don't know. I mean, remember, your children, your situation. I'm just sharing my perspective. I'm sharing some of my experience, but I still don't even know all the pieces to your puzzle. So I don't want to, I didn't mean to offend you, but I like to put things on the table to provoke thought. To provoke thought. But the decision and the choices that anyone makes watching these broadcasts is up to them, right? It's up to me. It's up to you, because it's your life, your journey, as we say this all the time, right? But I do know, having raised children, having coached clients, that it's important about the seeds, right? And sometimes we can plant seeds that challenges the other parent's relationship with our children. And children need both parents. And those of you who've been rocking with me for a while, I'll tell you in a minute. I don't care if their dad or their mom is on drugs. If that parent loves their children and is not harming them, maybe they need supervised visits, those kids love their parents. They love them. So maybe the ex was a jerk to me or a jerk to you, but it doesn't mean they're going to be a jerk to their children. And kids that's why God created us. We have different characteristics. Yes, we can do things under permissible will. Yes, we can raise children as a single father. We can raise children as a single mother. But at the end of the day, women bring something special and men bring something special when we're raising children. Period. So just all I'm saying, and this last I'm wrapping up, make my point, is just be careful of the seeds that you plant. Because it's really not even about what she's doing, he's doing, my ex is doing, your ex is doing. What we want to do is make sure our children are intact. Because actually, anybody can find something that we do that's wrong or imperfect. We're not perfect. I'm not a perfect parent. I have made and still make mistakes. And I apologize to my children when I make a mistake, because I'm human. And one thing I learned in this 49 years of my life, let me tell you this and I'm going to wrap up. Never say never. This is for somebody. Never say never. And that's on both sides of the spectrum. Negative or positive. Because we don't know what this life has to hold. And we don't know how we respond to situations until we're in them. Sometimes we think that we are full of faith, and something comes in our life and our faith is really, really challenged. Right? Sometimes we think that there are goals and things that we cannot accomplish, and we accomplish them. On both sides of the spectrum. Never say never. Never say never. For the positive and the negative. I'm going to wrap up right there. Listen, it's a Freedom Friday. Make sure as you're approaching this last weekend of the year, you put yourself on the calendar. That you sit back. That you take a look at 2017. That you evaluate where you've been and where you're going. That you recognize how special you are. That you recognize your worth. God has great things in store for you. Be willing to change. Be willing to be open to receive. Open your spirit up. Open your mind to receive so that you can move forward in the next season of your life. I love you guys so very much. I pray that something that I've said has blessed you in some way, shape, or form. Stay encouraged. Yes, Happy New Year to you too, you guys. I don't know how you usually ring in the New Year. I usually ring it in church. So if we have service at my church, that's where I will be in the New Year. If not, I'll be at home. It's only one or two places. You are so very welcome. If you guys are new and aren't following this broadcast, make sure you hit those little three dots on the right bottom part of the screen to follow. And come back. Make sure you check out plenty of the replays. Lots of great information there. And I will surely be broadcasting some sure when, but I will check in with you guys before the new year. So I love you. Have a wonderful, blessed Friday. And as I always tell you, no matter what the situation or the circumstance is that you're facing on today, God is always with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Stay encouraged. I love you. I love you. I love you. Be blessed. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.